So this is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, and joining me this week, we're going to change it up a little bit. We got Mike.
What's up, guys? I'm Mike, and we continue on in 2022, Electric Boogaloo.
And I did that because here at the bottom of the screen, we got the birthday boy, Tommy.
I'm Tommy, and as of today, I am too old for this shit. Because don't hear what happens before this show, before the mics come on.
Did you get any birthday wishes from any Murder Hawk monsters? Or?
I don't think he knows what my birthday is. I think luckily I avoid that. And that's not a complaint. I'm legitimately happy he does not know when it is. I would probably on a regular just have him threaten me with some kind of bodily harm. Like he needs a reason, but he'd do it a lot on my birthday, especially.
That's what friends are for.
Right? Especially
friends,
wrestling.
That's what we are.
Especially with wrestling, right? What's up, Bernsey? What's up, Terrell? Bernsey says, happy birthday, Tommy. Mentioning that as well. So, yes. Another year older of being a wrestling fan. And, yeah. How amazing is that, right? Today we'll talk a little bit of wrestling news, what's kind of out there, and discuss UnderSiege and Backlash. Didn't get to watch them the whole way through for me personally because life as a softball coach, but seen bits and pieces of it. I think the results are worth discussing, especially where these companies are going and with what's on the horizon too, especially on the Impact side of things. Where wins and losses matter, right? And Terrell, how you doing? We're doing pretty good. Other than the allergies and the shit in the air in Texas, of course, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. My Colorado Avalanche swept the Nashville Predators, so just waiting for our opponent for the next round. So hockey-wise, I'm feeling pretty good. So, yeah. All right, guys. Wrestling news-wise, the only major thing I had, there's some other wrestling news out there I think is worth discussing, but we'll kind of get into that as we talk into Backlash especially. We mentioned last week about WWE making the rounds back over here to San Antonio for the Royal Rumble in January. Most likely. Nothing official yet. But in the meantime, they got a big tour of Texas coming up. I got a lot of this info through Chris Marvel, put an Instagram post up where a lot of his hybrid students are going to be getting some work in, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I forgot
June 24th, WWE will make their first appearance at the new Moody Center in Austin on the University of Texas campus for SmackDown. So we'll get a first look at how that arena, with I think it seats right now, capacity is about 10,000 for wrestling. Mike and I, we've been to a Raw at the and a SmackDown, I think.
At the old drum.
Yes, at the Owen Center. Famous, of course, for Mike and for myself, the debut of Lita. We were there for that. Yes, with S.A. Rios. So, I
told her that when I met her.
Yes, kind of a soft spot in your heart for that, right? So,
for Lita, yes.
Yes.
But for that moment also, yeah.
It'll be cool. I always thought the Irwin Center, it's not like Freeman Coliseum level of like wrestling intimacy, but you still have a pretty good setup as far as wrestling goes. So we just need to see how the Moody Center compares to that. I think at least on TV. Beyond that, the next days that weekend, 25th there's house shows in Amarillo and Abilene, 26th in Hidalgo and Odessa, 27th Raw will be in Laredo. Now I bring that up as a very important date because obviously there's a recent articles come out. We of course know in Texas about Roxy, now in WWE as Roxanne Perez on NXT. Do you think there's a chance she makes an appearance on Raw and gets a match in front of her home crowd?
I feel like it would be more of a dark match before.
That's
after.
what I was thinking.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's so new into NXT, and don't get me wrong, they're starting to give her a little push there in NXT with what she's doing. But I don't know if they would just straight up bring her to Raw. Like, I think it might be before, like in a dark match, which means she'd probably lose because that's the WWE way of doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if they'd fully bring her on to Raw yet, especially if it's not going to be a permanent thing. So,
do you think maybe there might be some sort of like kind of open challenge thing, and like someone answers the call? They've done that from time to time with NXT superstars. They did it with Sami Zayn while he was still in NXT. You know, every now and then they kind of pull that. I'm just wondering if maybe they might do a little something like that just to give her that exposure. You know, so
I mean, we love her.
Yeah.
But she's one person in a sea of NXT, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to think maybe just for the hometown pop, but then just like I in my head I foresee her like facing Rhea Ripley and being destroyed, and because that's the new hot stable right now, and you know, I'm not gonna call them Wish.com House of Black, because while that's funny, that's Brody King's joke, and I refuse to step on his toes with that one. But that one was good. But
you could call it Hill Country Fair House of Black. It's still solid.
I know, but see, here's the thing. I don't know if I can do that either, because since I work for HEB, and that might get me in trouble.
Well,
Smart value, or what's the Walmart?
Not bad products. I mean, okay, let's choose your competitor. It's great value.
Yeah, they're great value.
Yeah, so let's do that. Or
I just don't want to get in
choice.
trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm part-time curbside, but still, I would like to keep this shop.
But see, Wish.com sounds like more of an insult, but Hill Country Fair, like, it's solid. It's not the original.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some Hall of Fame worthiness in Hill Country Fair.
I can't knock Hill Country Fair. That's like this is we sell the most of. If anything,
I'm sure. Yeah, it really is.
Store.
It's like when Mike and I were in middle school, and there was the whole Albertsons thing here. You know, they had those sodas for like a quarter. You know, they weren't the exact name brand, but they were still pretty good, I thought. So you know, yeah.
But the thing with Roxy is like, but I feel like even if they like do that, she will get in like no offense, like at all. She might throw a forearm, and I legitimately mean a forearm. It'll have no effect. Rhea will big boot her or kick her, lock her in that reverse clover leap and make her tap out. Now, don't get me wrong, all that sounds hot, but I'm just saying it won't be effective for. Well, actually, no, it'll give Roxy the sympathy vote, because anyone who knows her will be like, well, that was a waste of a match, and we will all say that on the show the following Tuesday or Wednesday when we record. I
don't think there was something to work with. You know, I mean, that's the week after Hell in a Cell, so that, you know, give her some sort of exposure. I know. I mentioned that because there's a big story about it on our hometown newspaper, the Laredo Morning Times. I can try and get a link and post it in here for you guys, but. Very cool article talking about her origins. You know, having some old pictures as well of her growing up in Laredo. Something that
old picture. She's like 20.
I know.
What are the pictures of her when she's 5?
Like, when she was like met AJ Lee famously.
Back in the 2010s. Back in the day.
But just how, you know, I mean, that newspaper, that hometown has followed her for so long.
Oh my God!
What
if she shows up on Raw with a grizzled young vet persona? All of a sudden,
that'd be awesome.
Just walks in on Natty. All right, let me tell you, kid.
I will say, I remember being at heavy metal shows and all that kind of stuff, because, like, you know how a lot of guys will yell at the female wrestlers and everything like that. It was funny because, like, the group of us were like, you know, would like laugh at some of the jokes, but then when Roxy came. When she would come out, he'd be like, okay, it's not funny anymore, guys. She's literally 17, 18. Let's calm it off.
Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, so.
It's like on Community, the joke of Alison Brie's character when Jack Black's on there on a cameo, and he's like going after her. They're like, we try not to sexualize Annie. She's young.
Yeah, but it was so funny because, like, I almost feel bad for the ones who don't know, because, like, you know, they're just, like, you know, being guys at a wrestling show. It's like, it's not that they're trying to touch them, they're just, like, being, you know, obscene jackasses. Yeah. I know, I'm an obscene jackass sometimes, but it's just, like, it got so awkward, like,
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, but that's anywhere you go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Tommy, real quick, since she's talking about a tour of Texas, and you just talked about, if she showed up getting basically beat down by Rhea, since I promised you I wouldn't like make jokes or things like that. So what if Jasmine or Lore showed up, got manhandled by Rhea, and tapped out with no offense? Would that make you feel better?
Yes, I would have to get YouTube video and play it on a repeated loop,
Ha!
and then I'd have to take a screenshot of it, blow it up for a poster, and bring it to the next Mission Pro show, and say, hey, remember that because if nothing else, she would take that away from me and hit me with it, which is also a goal in life.
I'm gonna copy this video and send it to her right after we're done.
Anyway, another
Like,
reason
she
why those weeks Raw and SmackDown, basically, like I mentioned, it's a week after Hell in a Cell. It's also the last Raw before Money in the Bank. So,
Getting Hell in a Cell is a thing as a pay-per-view.
yeah, it's still a pay-per-view, June 19th. Money in the Bank is July 2nd in Vegas. So they basically have 2 weeks to do all the whole qualifying match thing. So
Did they co-op the heat lamp from the Fiend? Are we gonna get that at Hell in a Cell again?
I don't know. I hope not.
I keep wanting to forget that ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, beyond that, for that, after Money in the Bank in Vegas, July 8th, SmackDown will be in Fort Worth. On July 10th, there will be a house show in Waco. And then July 11th, Raw will be at the AT&T Center, excuse me, in San Antonio. Which I fully expect we'll know by then officially if the Royal Rumble is going to be in San Antonio. Usually when a big pay-per-view is coming up in a city, they'll take a moment at whatever TV event that they're doing in that city to announce it.
Yeah.
Along with like an on-sale date for tickets as well.
I'm still not interested. I mean, I don't know. I like I said, there have been things that have gotten my interest in WWE a little bit. Cody and Asuka are pretty much the beginning and end of that reason.
Yeah.
So if I can get cheap enough tickets, I might go to that. And I can't stress the word "might" enough.
Are we talking about the Raw or the if it comes to the Rumble?
The Raw.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
I'll go
okay.
to Rumble. I'll go to Rumble.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
Rumble is definitely worth
even-
going, so yeah.
Even if the build up and the payoff always suck, the Rumble still tends to be fun.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. Like we've said before, it's not the wrestlers themselves necessarily.
Yeah,
It's just WWE and the way it's been for the last few years. I just always come back to it. Really soured me the way they dealt with things during the pandemic, and cutting people out while everyone else was trying to keep wrestlers afloat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, sorry, that's a whole other tangent. Never mind. Yeah.
Top of all that, August 1st, Raw will be in Houston. So all those dates I mentioned, Marvel put that there's going to be some of his hybrid students, some hybrid alums working along that. We might see them as extras in the background or just being available if needed. So, or just getting squashed as a drop match too.
Quick question, just interesting.
Yeah.
So like Maddie Rankowski, the tag team champs at Mission Pro, why their name just go out of my head. Tommy, help me out
Renegade
here.
Twins.
Thank you.
Renegade Twins.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So they show up on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation a lot, but I don't know if they have official contracts. And I want to say Maddie has shown up on a WWE show previously. Just a little thing. Do you think any of them that show up on Dark or Dark Elevation regularly would do or could do work at WWE shows here?
I don't see why not. Wasn't there somebody that wrestled on Dark and then she was also on?
Yeah, there have been a few of those.
Yeah, so I don't see why not.
It's dark wrestlers only have contracts. Because so I know this is public knowledge, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And if I get in trouble, then I'll just because I can't remember who told me anyway. I know I heard Khan, JTL Promotions, that he
Good
has,
con or bad con?
God!
It's worth asking. Literally, each
There's a
one has
Star
one.
Trek joke.
Shane Taylor Promotions Con, KAUN.
Oh,
Con.
I thought you
Come
meant.
on.
I thought you meant. It's not even the two cons at like running companies.
That's
Okay,
what I'm
sorry.
saying.
Sorry. Go for it. Go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
Anyway, I heard he has an AEW contract. And
Okay.
that's why, and so he's on, and I think that's why he's still in ROH too with this whatever faction he started with, Brian Cage. So he couldn't, of course. But I think everyone else that they get is just on a by appearance basis. They get paid, which is actually no, that is the case because that's legitimately what happened with Fuego del Sol. He had no contract whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
They paid him each time he came out there, because they had a joke one time on Being the Elite that if he won the BETE championship, Matt Jackson even said, if he wins this, I have to book him next week. And like he doesn't work here. He doesn't have a contract here. But if he wins his belt, I have to book it. He's got to be here next week to defend this thing. So basically, I think it's when they were dark. It's just about the exposure, and if they because like there was some guy, I think it's in NXT UK, that they wanted to sign. They signed with WWE, and I think they recently released him.
Huh.
What was his name? I can't remember.
David, I don't know if it's the same one I'm thinking of, but I don't know.
No.
I was just curious because,
Yeah.
there have been a few of the Texas people that have kind of become regulars, either through, Thunder Rosa training or the Renegade Twins are out of the factory, right? Is that what I remember correctly?
I forget where they're. Hold on. I forget where they're from.
Yeah. But, I know a lot of them, come through Texas and do dark and dark elevation a lot. So, and you're right. There have been some that have shown up on both. There was, what was it? It was one of the girls that like MJF randomly made out with on one show as they were like escorting him to the ring, and then like either later that week on SmackDown or something, she was in a segment on Raw, or maybe it was SmackDown, I guess. So,
Yeah.
be interesting to see.
While mentioning that, oh god, I lost my train of thought. Damn it.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So
we often take the train on a different path.
yes.
So.
Comments we got in. B Ninja wanted to pop in and just say happy birthday, Tommy. Enjoy your day. And yeah. So.
And you're right. They're from the factory. They were trained by QT Marshall. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Marshall.
All right. Well.
I actually asked him that. He confirmed this is supposed to be pronounced.
Okay.
Marshall. All right. All right, well, let's move into our discussion here of Impact Under Siege. Again, bits and pieces of this that I've seen, haven't seen all the way through, but some of these matches, my God, pretty crazy. Some interesting results here. Let me kind of run through, what happened here. Let's see. The main card, Giselle Shaw defeated Madison Rayne. Chris Sabin.
And that was interesting to me.
Yeah, Chris Sabin defeated Steve Macklin. Wow. And these are by the order they happen on the show. Taya Valkyrie defeated Deonna Purrazzo to retain the AAA Reina de Reinas championship, as we all predicted.
And we can add something else that happened during that match.
Yes, we can. That's right. A certain Mia Yim, not going by her previous persona.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes. No.
I was like, that's interesting that she didn't. That they brought her back to me. I mean,
you mean retaliation or?
Oh God.
Sorry.
I don't remember her name in that. I
don't remember what the name of Disruption was.
What was the name of the group?
Was she retaliation, or was that Mercedes Martinez for the 1 week? It was something.
One of them was Reckoning.
Okay, that was Mia Yim.
Okay.
Mia Yim was Reckoning. I think Mercedes Martinez was retaliation for that 1 week that she was part of it.
She went back.
Yeah.
What's the name of the group? Like their actual name?
Disruption.
Disruption is what we called it.
Stop it! No, that wasn't it.
What the actual name was? I'm going with Disruption. That's what I'm going with. So.
We'll come back to it.
I can't remember the name because all
That's how forgettable it was, and it's not that it was its fault. It was the fact that oh my God, Ali's the person in charge. Forget it. So yeah, Mia Yim confronted Deonna Purrazzo, and I like that. I like the way they're going with that. Deonna not being in the title picture now, where they go from this, and this is gonna be a pretty interesting feud. I hope this sets up something really cool for Slammiversary.
Who's the real number one contender for Tasha Steelz, more than likely.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for because she wins whoever she faces. I mean, not wins in terms of winning the match, but wins in terms of the match will be awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Who's the real number one contender for Tasha Steelz? Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm down for because she wins whoever she faces. I mean, not wins in terms of winning the match, but wins in terms of the match will be awesome. Ace Austin ended up defending his X Division title against Trey Miguel and successfully defended it. The 10-man tag match, Honor No More defeats the Bullet Club by pinfall.
On that one.
Tasha Steelz retains the Knockouts World Championship over Havoc. And we have new Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes defeating Violent by Design. I love it. I love it. I think this is pretty damn cool. And, of course, Josh Alexander going over 20 minutes, the longest match of the night, and defending his Impact World Championship successfully against Tomohiro Ishii.
Wait, I think you missed one. Didn't Steven Seagal defeat Tommy Lee Jones in a knife fight?
You know, every time Mike does that, I legitimately think he's about to say something, and every time I'm disappointed in myself for believing that. So,
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
The road to Slammiversary has begun. Slammiversary, of course, will be on June 19th. Oh, I was mistaken. I mixed up my dates. Hell in a Cell, as I previously mentioned, on June 5th, so they have a whole month to get ready for Money in the Bank. June 19th is Slammiversary in Nashville, by the way. No matches are officially set, but based on what we've seen here, who's next in line first? Let's start with from the top here. Who's next in line for Josh Alexander's Impact World Championship? Do you think they bring Moose back into the fold? Is there someone else they might bring up that?
I would love to see him and Jay White go at it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe him, maybe Cardona.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Cardona sold the Digital Media Championship.
Yeah.
I can see him going for both. Him doing another belt collector type deal.
Okay.
I mean, he's been doing that pretty well throughout the Indies.
Do you think we get
Jordan Grace? Why not?
Right. Do you think we get some sort of like a rematch between the Briscoes and Violent by Design, or something that stands out to me? I have a feeling we're going to get like a couple of members of Honor No More challenging for those tag titles.
I can see that.
I want my fantasy booking. It would just be for literally no other reason than because I want it to happen. Briscoes and Motor City Machine Guns. Not because they built up some great story or anything like that. No, I just would book that match just because, and I legitimately would not care about a story. This would be the one match that would have no story going in if this actually happened, and I could not give less of a damn that it didn't. You know?
Yeah.
But I could also see them doing a multi-team match of some sort as well
for the tag titles.
Yeah.
Other interesting one, Tasha Steelz. We think Deonna Purrazzo will be a Yim, or do you think this might be potentially some sort of like triple threat involving the three of them, three-way dance kind of thing? Or do you think they're going to set Tasha Steelz up with a one-on-one opponent here?
It depends on how this thing with Mia and Deonna goes. And if they can't settle it one-on-one, a triple threat.
Yeah. I mean, we know Impact is not shy at doing multi-person for a lot of their titles.
That's entirely why the X Division, the Ultimate X match was created in the first damn place.
Yeah,
it's true.
Seriously.
To be fair, and to be fair, I'll play devil's advocate of that joke I just made about them. When they decided the first X Division champion, it was a double elimination 4-way match. So to be fair, that's kind of the history of the belt from literally the beginning. So
yeah. It was I remember that match too.
Convolutedness of that match. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's totally worth going back and watching. That you have to pin each guy twice to eliminate them, and so if you're like, well, wait a minute, he just got pinned. Like, oh yeah, they got to pin him twice, and you're thinking, who the hell came up with this idea?
TNA, a gauntlet double elimination, and it was just one at a time kind of thing. So just kind of going in order.
I mean, not to get off topic again, but if we're talking who the hell came up with that, that's like the story of Impact matches. From King of the Mountain to the Reverse Battle Royal to...
I feel like I'm the only person who has ever defended King of the Mountain because I legitimately have always loved that match.
I mean, it's unique.
It's unique.
I'll give it that.
It was always Jeff.
Well, then again, but you know what? I'm biased towards it because that was the match where Raven finally won the NWA World title. So Honestly, that's
feeling.
probably why I love it, because if I probably got the thing I wanted out of it, so I couldn't have cared less who else ever won the damn thing, because the one time it did happen, Raven won it, and I was like, okay, I'm good for now. Best match type of all time.
That's funny.
Birdsey said, them boys, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, and they hold the titles here. I believe FTR holds the titles in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ring of Honor. They hold the Ring of Honor titles.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
That's right.
That feud's still going on strong. We'll see if there's any sort of back and forth with that too. So,
they've got to meet again somewhere. I don't know, and I don't care what company it's in.
Oh,
they've got to run that thing back. That's just so damn good. Oh my god, 10 million people were in that arena. We were so loud.
That was the show you got into for free, right?
Did I get into that for free? I paid.
Birdsey also mentioned he likes the King of the Mountain matches as well. So,
all right.
Thank you, Birdsey. Yes, finally.
Yes. Slammiversary, of course, June 19th. Got a little over a month to set up into that, and that'll be a pay-per-view event in Nashville. Now, as far as our pick results for Under Siege, Tommy went 3-1. Mike and I went 4-0, just based on what we predicted. So, yeah. Tommy, I respected. Ride or Die with Havoc. It wasn't meant to be. So, yeah.
I knew that going in, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
And
the ex-wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I told you earlier, hopefully she gave you a nice present on your as your alternate universe ex-wife.
Yes. So.
Yeah, I'm sure in the alternate universe, like I said, we're still cool in that universe. So she's probably at least called me up or something.
Yeah.
Gave you a nice like a nice 2x4 with like nails in it or something. Or nice hardcore weapon.
Just to tell you, she still got love for you. Yeah. So yeah.
If you guys saw the picture on my Facebook, Nigel Rabbit from VIP and up in Dallas, there's a picture. This is the same day he met my dad, where he has a barbed wire paddle, and he's menacing me with it threateningly, and wished me happy birthday, and that's the picture he used.
Nice.
It's simultaneously one of the most questionable and best pictures I have with a wrestling personality, period. And pretty much sums my relation with every single Texas wrestler there is. So I was like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
At least I know I can name at least 5 people right now who would want to hit me with that.
All right.
I
well,
witnessed one recently.
None of us have fully seen Under Siege. Like I mentioned, just the highlights here and there, some of the results. But so we're not comfortable giving a full WrestleCast rating on it. If you did see Under Siege, you're more than welcome to post what you think your rating would be, 0 to 5. 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December. Just remember here in the chat. Let us know if you happen to see it.
10.
If you're interested in seeing it, and as we are, I'm probably going back and watching the rest of it too. Check it out on Impact Plus. It's on their library. Basically, it's Impact streaming service. Visit ImpactWrestling.com for all the details on how to subscribe there. So now we'll move into WWE Backlash, which for a pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever the hell they're calling it these days, it was interesting to see them only have the 6 matches on the card and only 1 championship match, which did not main event the show. It is what it is. Yeah. So, the show did open with Cody Rhodes defeating Seth Rollins, Osmosis defeating Bobby Lashley, Edge defeating AJ Styles by a technical submission officially, Ronda Rousey getting Charlotte Flair to say I quit, and Madcap Moss defeating Happy Corbin, and the Bloodline
in the main event. Oh,
in the main event, yes, the Bloodline. Right, if Madcap Moss. The main event, the Bloodline defeating Drew McIntyre and RK Bro.
I got to make this point though. If that had actually been like the main event, like if some chicanery or shenanigans, or however, I'd have been like, that writing room is officially out of ideas, and or Vince has finally lost his mind. They need to have some kind of meeting to get him out of there. Because
I'm still a little convinced. No pun intended, that Vince lost his mind quite a while ago.
Or there's just a lot of injuries or something. Who knows? Mike, you happen to watch, I would say, most of this pay-per-view live as you were probably doing teacher stuff.
Yeah.
Your thoughts as the show progressed, your thoughts, let's start out with Cody and Seth being first.
Well, okay, so I kind of made this comment before we got started.
Yeah.
Because we always joke about, what's the main event? If it's not the main event, who goes first? Those are kind of the two big spots that WWE has kind of created with the way they do their shows now. And, you joke about Roman either goes first or he goes last, and obviously he went last. So I find it interesting that Cody went first with Seth. I mean, of course, it was a great match. Those two can put on good matches. And I will continue saying this for as long as it continues to be what's going on. I'm still just shocked that Cody has become the golden boy out of nowhere for WWE. I guess, and I guess this is where more of the truth of there really is a big contingent of WWE fans that don't watch AEW, whether because they're casual and WWE has always been there, or as you see online, they are some of the tribal, choosing sides, and AEW's evil, so they see Cody coming back from that as he comes back to where he belongs, and that's fine. I just, having watched both, or at least being familiar with both, where Cody was in AEW as he was leaving, and the awkwardness of the character, which we thought was this great story he was cooking up, and then we were like, he knows he's the bad guy, right? And it just never kind of came to fruition. And then he just goes to WWE, and everyone's in love with him, and he's his first promo, he's bringing up his dad in the heavyweight title. So, I don't know. I just, for me, I find it so crazy how much of a 180 he took in the reactions he was getting, not a 360. And sorry, another joke from before we got started. But
I was gonna say no one knows why we're laughing, but it's still hilarious.
Bernsey said he watched it live too. Bernsey, feel free to share your thoughts on.
I mean, it was a good match. I mean, Rollins is just on a level right now that he can put on matches with anybody, and Cody can go. I'm not taking anything away from him. He put his everything into those last few matches of AEW that he had. Almost killing himself against Andrade through fire, and then doing the crazy ladder match with Sammy Guevara. So,
yeah,
there used to be the joke when he was first going through his indie phase about the 3-star general, because he could only put on 3-star matches. But I really think he's upped his game over his time, and his style and maybe what was getting him booed in AEW is what plays a lot better, it seems like, in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So,
obviously they've kept this going. You figure 2 matches in a row, Cody wins both. But with what happened on Raw, we saw Seth cost Cody the U.S. title. And it seems obvious that this is going to be set up for we would think, a payoff match at Hell in a Cell. The two of
they're putting Cody in a cell, and then probably Roman in the other one, right?
Rollins in the or Roman in the main event one, yeah.
Well, yeah, because they usually do 2.
Yeah,
probably won't give one to the women because they stopped caring about the women. So
right. That interesting thing about that one too is what if Roman is having to defend both belts? He's going to get one person going for one title, one for the other title. If anybody pins him, they take that title. I don't know. They might do some weird thing like that. So.
They did that once at WrestleMania 2000, where the Intercontinental and European belts were on the line, and the first pinfall won one belt, the second.
It was a triple threat, right?
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, so.
Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, and Chris.
And name redacted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think we're going to see the end of Cody and Seth. Probably going to see them in a cell. Why do I get a weird feeling we're going to see them again at SummerSlam, which is only a couple months after that? I don't know. I just thought.
Because you might as well book for them too.
I mean, it is in the WWE style to have them feud by just having matches over and over and over without a lot of story progression. But at the same time, I feel like they're pushing Cody, like I said. So I feel like eventually they got to move on to another top tier heel. I don't know who.
Right.
But someone else, because I have this theory he's going to keep winning, and if they do split the titles off Roman back to Universal and WWE, I think he might get that WWE one by Survivor Series and then turn heel. I have this thought about that, but
I think a lot of people are also there's rumors and people suggesting these online. If he wins the WWE title, he's going to bring back the Gold Eagle belt.
Yeah.
You know, would that work well with a heel turn too, with him holding that title?
I mean, okay, if he can bring back the character,
actually.
Yeah.
no, I know, but I was like, if he can bring back that, I think I'm the good guy, but I'm a heel character. I don't know.
Yeah, it actually works.
But it's WWE, so I mean, they might just make him the new Cena, right? The new Reigns head of the table.
I watched What Culture's video covering the Broken Skull sessions that he did with Stone Cold, and they said Cody said that's how he dealt with being he knew about the fans booing him in AEW, and he said he dealt with that by being like John Cena, remembering how Cena would handle all that stuff. So I was like, that kind of makes sense now in hindsight.
Yeah,
I don't remember Cody rapping.
Maybe he should have, right? You know.
Actually, well, a little bit, depending on what he said. Yeah. I mean, so he's still a white guy. Stay in your lane.
Wow, shots fired.
Being married to a black chick will only help you so much.
Adrenaline.
Let's move on. Adrenaline rate.
In something, Cody. So, if we sing a song that was also made up, does that get copyrighted?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The Dark Order sends us a cease and desist. We made that up on BTE. Give it back.
One condition: you guys got to come on our show. Deal.
Yeah.
Edge versus AJ Styles. While Damian Priest was banned from ringside, we did basically see the debut of Rhea Ripley into Edge's group there.
I do have to say one thing, though.
What's that?
And I get it. Again, you have to get to Rhea Ripley getting her part in. I'm cool with that. But Priest comes out down the rampway because he's not at ringside. But then he gets attacked by Balor and winds up in the ring. And I don't know, in my head, if you're banned from ringside, you can't come out from the back. That's the way it works in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would think so too.
Again, I'm cool with it because you got to Ripley, and I didn't realize it was possible to go further goth than she did. But I guess she was at 99%. She went full 100. But it'll be good for her.
9,000.
Yes.
Well, sure, if we change the scale.
Yeah. I like the group. It's interesting. It is kind of cool to see, knowing there was a point where we never thought Edge was going to wrestle again, and here he is, leading potentially a top heel group. So, one of the big matches to call out, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. I think most of us, we talked about this, predicted you can't have Ronda say, I quit. It just wouldn't seem right. But the way they've done this, they've written it off kayfabe-wise that Charlotte has a fractured radius. And this, of course, is being
done. There's a math joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. Does it mean it's
I'll come around to it in a minute.
Yes.
So.
Anyway.
And he worked it in
Anyway.
I can't help myself. I need help, guys.
Suddenly I feel like pie. Ronda, of course.
That was JC. That was him.
I'm sorry. Ronda wins the title. Charlotte, of course, being written off TV for her wedding that's coming up. Summer wedding planned with 2 Andrade. As we, of course,
for her.
Yeah.
I know the pandemic pushed all those plans back. So
yeah.
Good for them.
So it's good for them to work that out. But Ronda with the Women's Championship, we talked about a little bit. Since she's come back, it seems a little nonchalant, but where do they go from here with this? Who's challenging Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Championship when we get to
Ding dong!
Was it finally going to happen?
Literally what I was going to say. I was absolutely thinking that. So...
who else do you have on SmackDown right now?
Hey, I don't think anyone else makes sense. I really can't figure out who else you would put in that spot if it's not her. You kind of wrote yourself into a corner where it kind of has to be her.
No, wait. Who was on SmackDown? Because I feel like everyone's over on Raw. They had Charlotte and Ronda. Isn't Belair the champ on Raw, even though she wasn't on the show?
Belair's the champ.
Belair's the champ on Raw, but then
Becky's over there.
Well,
Alexa Bliss just came back on Raw. With
On
Sonya
Raw.
Deville. Yeah.
I guess
Bliss I
Sasha
saw-
and Naomi are the champs, right? So they go.
They're technically SmackDown.
Okay.
But they can defend it
SmackDown.
anywhere. Yeah.
But they can defend
Right.
Yeah.
But I also don't see either of them. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but I couldn't see either of them right now.
Challenging her, but not winning, of course. But I see
Yeah, well, they had a match in her first run, right? Sasha challenged her at one time, or had a match with her.
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I think they did.
Yeah.
That might have been when Sasha was out. I can't recall. So.
Yeah, I think that was during her sabbatical.
Y'all talk. I'm gonna find out.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like this would be the time because I know they just removed Sonya
Royal
Deville
Rumble
from her
2019. I already found it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yes, you're right. I forgot all about that.
Back to the
Right.
show.
Yeah.
I thought I remember about something about that.
You're right. I completely forgot. You're right. Look at Mike coming in with the info.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just be dumb jokes all the time.
She certainly
This
tried.
is the prime time to bring Bayley back. And my question is though, if Bayley, maybe if she's some mystery opponent or something, do you put Bayley over Ronda? One title defense.
Do I?
I know
In
you.
a split
Yeah, I was
second.
you
who,
went.
who are we asking?
Faster
Are
than
we
the
asking
speed of
WWE?
light,
Wait,
dude.
okay,
Does it?
then here's the
But
obvious
does Vince
answer.
McMahon? No.
Yeah,
no, of
I
course
mean-
not.
Who knows? Maybe
I
they
feel-
write it. Who knows? I don't know. So
I feel like you don't right away
Mhm.
because you still want to keep her looking. Keep Ronda looking strong. Damn it. But I feel like you could eventually because it could. Okay, let's be honest. Short of her kicking a puppy, and it has to be an ugly puppy to begin with. No, a cute puppy to begin with. Excuse me. There's no way anyone's gonna boo Bayley when she comes back. It's just not gonna happen. She can absolutely destroy the crowd with the promo. We know she can do it. I firmly believe they will still cheer her out of the building.
Yeah, you just said that, and I was just like, I hope they don't give her a Becky. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be against Ronda because I think people would cheer if she beat Ronda in 8 seconds like they did Belair. But now I'm just hoping they don't bring her back and do something dumb to. Yeah, I know.
You're optimistic.
I said it. Yeah, I thought about it as I said it.
Adorable.
Oh well, we love you, Bayley.
hopefully we'll see. So that, Hell in a Cell is the next big pay-per-view event, June 5th, and then of course after that, July 2nd into Money in the Bank. So again, no ratings we'll have on Backlash. We didn't get to see it all the way through, but if you did get to see it live, put in here 0 to 5. Let us know what your thoughts are on Backlash. So
Oh wait, you said we didn't see it. Never mind.
yeah, unless you did see it. I don't know. Wait, I didn't get to.
I didn't.
Some parts of it, but
So
I don't care.
it was.
I don't know. It's
It
like
was Mother's Day. Celebrate my wife. Was doing. Why you put pay-per-view next on Mother's Day?
that was nothing. I was like, is it me or have all the pay-per-view timings have been really weird lately? I just feel like
bad.
a lot of them have been like not good.
Then you got Impact putting Slammiversary on Father's Day, and I'm like, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Works for me. So
Well, see, that makes more sense though to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like wrestling pay-per-view on Father's Day, that feels like the perfect marketing to me.
Yeah.
That feels like, all right, Dad, we all love you. We'll watch this with you. Yes, finally.
I think you may underestimate the female fan base of wrestling.
Fair enough. Hey, you know what? You're right because my sister's aunt, because of how my siblings work, a huge wrestling fan, like diehard. She loved old stores like Wahoo McDaniel and all those guys. So yeah, I'm not even gonna front.
hey, Terrell, good to see you back there. All right, before we move into 1 minute warning, I wanted to mention a few things here dealing with AEW. What we know so far on Double or Nothing, we know, of course, that Adam Page will be taking on CM Punk for the World Championship. Thunder Rosa is going to defend the Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb. And, of course, we're going to have the finals of the 2 Owen Hart Cup tournaments, men's and women's. Right now, both are in the quarterfinals. The men's matchups, Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. Good Lord.
Which was what everyone knew was going to happen the second his music hit, and he didn't help his brother right away because he was dancing to his face. That would not be funny to me.
Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood, Ray Phoenix versus Kyle O'Reilly, and Samoa Joe versus the Joker. Guys, predictions, thoughts.
Joaquin Phoenix or
who
Jack
pulled the
Nicholson?
Joker card for this tournament?
I will mark out if Jack Nicholson walks behind that curtain, or in my fantasy booking, Mark Hamill comes out doing the Joker voice.
I'll take that.
It's like, well, Joe, we've been waiting for this a long time, haven't we?
I love it. That'd be perfect.
All those matches,
Oh my
along
God.
with the women's side of it, is going to be taking place tomorrow on Dynamite. Any predictions, guys, on who the Joker card's going to be for Joe?
Yeah, with it being Joe and having like ROH and potential, I kind of hope it's either someone out of there or just someone out of New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Owen Hart, as far as I understood, did Calgary, then did some time in Japan himself. I don't know if it was specifically in New Japan or not, but
yeah, I think it was because
I think early in his career he did some time over there. So that would be a nice connection. Or I don't know, even if they brought in some Canadian wrestler we haven't seen. Well, there's a lot of Canadian wrestlers in there.
Yeah.
But
Owen Hart actually won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, he did? Okay. I didn't know if it was New Japan.
Yeah.
I know he had done some stuff. I'd seen some footage, but I wasn't sure who it was at the time.
Beat Hiroshi Hase.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Real quick, I'll go through the women's side of the women's tournament. Also in the quarterfinals, these matches also on Dynamite tomorrow. Red Velvet versus Hikaru Shida, Riho versus Ruby Soho, Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Pulling another Joker card, so we don't know who's that's going to be on that side. Which, by the way, I should also point out, Britt Baker and Adam Cole were going to be a part of the latest episode of Bar Rescue, which I believe
I heard something about that.
Plus. Yeah, they've been promoting it on their Instagram.
Serious?
Yeah. Adam Cole's been putting pictures on his Instagram. Apparently they were part of a latest episode of it. I got to find the details, but I believe it might be on Paramount Plus. I'm not sure. So, pretty awesome.
The best birthday ever! I'm a diehard. I love Bar Rescue, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was one of my favorite shows ever. I love John Taffer. I had no idea. Oh man. Oh, I'm excited.
Check Adam Cole's Instagram
episode.
for all the details there. So, Joker card predictions. You mentioned one for possibly a Japanese tie-in to Joe. Any thoughts for Britt Baker? Who her Joker card might be?
Also, Negra, for the love of God. Sorry.
Or Athena.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want her. I feel the same way about her. The same way about her. I felt about Eddie Kingston. For the love of God, they need to be somewhere where they get paid a lot of money for this, because they're too good to not get paid what they're worth.
Yeah.
So for La Rosa Negra, for the love of God. So, shit. Anyway, but that's just again fantasy book.
I mean, by the time this hits, what about since he was NXT and had a 30-day? What about Gargano's wife,
Candice LeRae?
Candice LeRae?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a 30-day, that should be.
How long postpartum has she been? I don't know. I don't remember how long.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Since December, so maybe not.
I mean, there's a chance. I mean, every woman recovers differently from it. Usually, doctors give you around.
Or maybe it was
6 to 8
it was more
weeks.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a chance that is.
Kind of forgot
choice.
that's why she was out. Yeah.
So.
But also, they released Dakota Kai. There's another one by the time, because again, if it's 30-day contracts.
I don't think Dakota Kai was within the 30 days though, because her release was like what, a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not two. So.
Well, when's Double or Nothing? June.
Well, the Joker card is tomorrow. They got to reveal the Joker cards tomorrow.
Oh, they reveal them. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they're wrestling over their Joker.
I'm thinking of the finals at the actual paper. You're right.
Yeah, the finals. I mean, they could make an appearance. Who knows? But
That's
for
a good
them
point.
tomorrow, I don't think any of the NXT releases could be on there.
All those matches are tomorrow.
According to this, all 8 of those matches are tomorrow. It's going to be a loaded Dynamite.
And there's more than those 8 matches, because, like I said, Danhausen is debuting in the match against Tony Nese.
I mean, there's a chance they put some of these on Rampage. It's possible.
I was gonna think I can't imagine all 8, but it must start tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'll check that.
Yeah, only they update. They have how many weeks until Double or Nothing? 1, 2, 2 more Dynamites after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Before they have to get to Double or Nothing. Yeah. So.
Or Dynamites, 2 more Rampages. Well, 3 more Rampages after.
Because they still have to do the 8 quarterfinals. Then you have the 4 semifinals, and then of course the finals will be. So I mean, I would imagine the semis are going to be on the May 25th Dynamite, with the finals being on Double or Nothing as well.
That would make sense.
So I guess you got to have 2 weeks to knock them all out. So. Yeah, that's kind of a really quick update there on AEW. Road to Double or Nothing looks good. I'm sure in the coming weeks we'll also see some potential other matches get added as well, tag team championships and whatnot. So, and with that, we'll move into our 1-minute warning segment here. Mike, did you have something for us this week?
I do, and it's obviously going to take a little more than a minute.
Okay.
But this popped into my head, so I'm gonna. As a while ago, when it has to do with Cody, I'll tell you what it's about, and it's about booking from now until next WrestleMania.
All right.
All right, and
take it away.
It starts with Cody, who as we've talked about, has kind of become the golden boy. But on the other side of that, we're gonna take a look at Xavier Woods, okay? Because right now, he is the only New Day member to not have held the world title. And I think he deserves it. So what we're going to do is they're both going to keep winning matches going forward. But obviously, Cody is the golden boy, so he gets more of the spotlight. So in my head, they keep winning. They go to SummerSlam, have pretty high-profile matches. Both of them win, but again, Cody's the one. He's the chosen one right now. Go to Survivor Series, whatever way that, the belt thing happens with Reigns, Cody gets his WWE title at SummerSlam, or at Survivor Series. Xavier Woods wins a pretty big match, but again, Cody's winning the title. Then we go to the Royal Rumble. And by this time, Cody has turned heel. Okay, so he's the champion. He's turned heel. Xavier Woods wins the Royal Rumble. Okay, so he is set to face the champion. And for those of you who know, because I know you guys do, we go back to a Art of Wrestling podcast where Xavier Woods first told the story of Cody meeting him in high school, and Cody being the big high school stud who, hit on his girlfriend in front of him or was with the girl that Xavier Woods liked, something along those lines. And then later on, Cody comes on the show with Xavier Woods, to retell the story from his point of view, which, of course, wasn't quite the same, and surely he wasn't that bad of a guy. But here's where the big twist of this whole thing comes in. Because this connects back to AEW, because we have not seen Colt Cabana on AEW as often since Punk has shown up, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So here's the thing. Cabana's contract with AEW, in my head, I have no idea if this is true, will expire before the end of this year. WWE hires Colt Cabana to be part of the storyline from Royal Rumble going to WrestleMania. Rhodes is the champ. Xavier Woods is the Rumble winner. They get one of the 2 main matches at WrestleMania, and Woods beats Rhodes to bring all 3 members of the New Day to a world title. And that's what popped in my head. And you bring in Colt Cabana since he's where the story started, or that we found out about it with those 2. And because I don't think him and Punk still get along, because Cabana has been on TV a lot less over the last 5 or 6 months. There you go. And I'm spent.
A chance. I like it though. That's interesting. So, and
it was really just to get Woods a title because.
No, I'm for that, which is let's do that.
Yeah. So.
And I think there's a little thing in me where Cody has to go heel at some point. So.
Interesting. Well, mark it. Save this episode here, May 10th, 2022, and see if that plays out.
Called it.
Yeah. Tommy, do you have anything for us this week?
I was thinking, but I don't think I do. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Was New Japan off this week?
Damn.
Sorry.
I mean, I can just pull up something about Noah or New Japan or Dragon Gate. I don't care. I can.
I'll mention one thing New Japan in mind right now. I'll just go for it. Fuck Shingo Takagi because he is not the king of pro wrestling. I'm going to say that right now. Toriano needs to hold that guy.
Excuse me, my good sir?
Screw Taichi for taking that up, Toriano. Screw Shingo Takagi. You're just keeping it warm. Because I'm telling you guys right now, no matter who holds it, on December 31st of this year, with about 5 minutes to spare before midnight, Toriano's going to take that damn King of Pro Wrestling thing back. And he will be the King of Pro Wrestling at the end of the year. And all will be right in the world. I know it's your birthday, Tommy. I'm calling it right now. It's pissing me off when I check and I don't see that he's not King of Pro Wrestling. So, boom.
Okay, you know what? I do have a 1 minute warning now, son. Go ahead and hit that timer, fam. But you know what? I don't need the timer. You know what? Screw the timer. Nah, Shingo Takagi is the real king of pro wrestling. He has been for the past 2 years, and you know what? He's better than Toriano and say, I was with you for a minute, and then you had to go and talk about my boy. So now I'm gonna flame you, boy. So, but nah, forget Toriano. Shingo Takagi is the real king of pro wrestling. He will hold that bitch all the way until midnight of this year and be crowned the real king of pro wrestling. Oh.
They're gonna have a match right up until the end. That'll be the countdown. That's gonna be a 5-star classic. I guarantee you that. Like it's gonna come out like match of the year.
Here's what I have learned about most Japanese wrestlers. They're all just as goofy as Toriano. He's just the only one that's outward about it. So I have a feeling if like they could get like Red Shoes to come like be at like a bar somewhere down in the Roppongi district, and Shingo has like the championship trophy, Toriano could just like roll him up and they like just pin 1, 2, 3, and Shingo check his watch. Son of a bitch! It's just like chase after him like down the Roppongi streets for like 30 minutes, and Rocky Romero for no reason is in the bar like, I told him to go home.
Here's my 2 cents real quick.
Yeah.
At 12:55 on December 31st, no matter who's the king between those two, Jeff Cobb appears, tour of the islands, 1, 2, 3 with 2 seconds to midnight, King of Pro Wrestling. Game, set, match.
A literal 6 to midnight for Mike too on that, right before midnight.
Right to midnight.
Yeah, that they can have fun with this. I know they're trying to make this the whole serious thing, but and I'll say I've enjoyed the fact that Toriano has been back to back the king of pro wrestling. I love that. That's just great, and I'm really hoping that it's just like one big troll job at the end of this thing, just to really fuck with everybody, you know.
I feel like Toriano has never actually wanted to be like world champion his whole career. I feel like this is the kind of thing he's always wanted to do.
He's great at
like,
it, you know. Yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. It's like he's great at it, and now like when they did this whole KLPW thing, everyone was like, you know what? You know who really would have fun with this? Toriano. Let him run with it for a couple years.
No, I love Shingo Takagi. I'm just gonna mark out and say Toriano should be king of pro wrestling. I'm just gonna fuck with that shit.
So I gotta find this clip and send it to you guys. It's of Toriano versus Colt Cabana, Cork and Hall. I think it's the G1, and there's like 2 or 3 minutes during the match where they were just being so stupid. Like Toriano rolls Cabana in, and he goes in after him, but Cabana rolls to the other side. And Toriano runs after him, rolls him back in. Cabana rolls out again. He does it one more time, but then runs to the starts to run to the other side, and Cabana stops and rolls back. And Toriano goes, so all you hear is Toriano going, hey! It's the funniest, dumbest 3 minutes in pro wrestling, and that's saying something. But oh my god, I'll defend it with my life. I don't even care because I was like, you know what? This is pro wrestling too. I don't care what y'all say. This is pro wrestling too.
Terrell says, "Wow, yeah, sorry, I know, I just kind of shocked everybody with that, but I just had to say it." So it's like, damn it, you know. I've enjoyed it. Also, are the announcements for the G1 coming pretty soon too? I think it's getting that time of year, right? So
well, right now they're about to knock out the best of the Super Juniors because they just announced the bracket for that. The G1 will be in the summer, so starting around July. So the names should be coming out soon.
Wheeler Yuta in the best of Super Juniors? Did I hear that right?
Yes. Yeah, he's in it. He's in it.
Cool.
Dude, his stock shot through the roof. I think after that pure title match with Josh Woods, which by the way, if you're a pure match fan, you should still see it. It was really good. Freaking Bret Hart Stone Cold double turn type match he had with John Moxley. I still rewatch that.
Yeah. It's a hell of a match.
I mean, to everyone who says like AEW just does spot fest and don't have like storytelling in the matches, that's the match where I am calling absolute bullshit. Because that match was amazing storytelling. So
Yeah.
I'm still keeping my eye too on the G1 because I'm interested because I really hope that Bryan Danielson, they finally pull the trigger and let him be part of it too.
Oh,
That's
God,
one
that
thing
would be
I would
amazing.
just love for Bryan Danielson to be part of the G1.
Who else? Oh, those G1, yeah. Well, I know that they are opening a door with a lot of Japanese companies. I want these matches to have just because I want Eddie Kingston to finally fulfill his dreams of getting a whole I think he wants Satoshi Kojima or no, Jun Akiyama. Because they're working with DDT as well. He wants to wrestle Jun Akiyama, and that's the match I want for Eddie Kingston. Because he's been wanting that match for his entire life.
I'll say if Bryan Danielson gets in the G1, I'm definitely purchasing New Japan for
Just for
the
that.
length of that.
Yeah.
For the length of that.
Love to see how that works out.
It is such a. This is one reason why I always herald New Japan is so great is because legitimately. It is one of the few tournaments in wrestling I cannot predict who's going to be in the finals.
Yeah.
Back to back, I was shocked. I honestly didn't expect it.
I want to bring this guy on the show because he just celebrated his 15th birthday, if you guys can believe this. So,
Man.
yes, this old guy still kicking, still purring on the mic.
Still messing up the wires.
Yeah, he still messes with shit whenever he's in it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He just toss him.
Saboteur!
No, like literally, I had to take my iHome off of my bedside because he knew what button to push to turn it on in the morning. It pissed me off.
Nice.
Now he will literally like he'll knock my glasses off. He'll like mess with papers. He'll find something to make noise to wake me up in the morning.
Cats really are jerks.
Anyway, thank you everybody for checking us out this week on the WrestleCast. Let us know your thoughts on UnderSiege and Backlash if you got to see it. Who is going to be the king of pro wrestling when all is said and done at the end of the year? The stroke of midnight on New Year's Day. And
Phrasing.
as for us, unless any sort of major wrestling news hits, I don't think we'll be doing an episode next week. But
Oh, God, you just jinxed it.
you're right.
WWE releases 74 wrestlers.
I mean, that's part of the whole NXT starter kit, right? You get the Performance Center shirt, the picture Triple
Next
H.
5 reviews will just be Roman
Yeah.
Reigns versus Cody versus Charlotte
Yeah.
and triple threat matches.
For Radius healed in record time.
No, wait. There'll be 6-man tag matches because the Judgment Day stable will still be a thing.
Yeah.
Those three, I think those three are safe.
So in 2 weeks, we're going to preview AEW Double or Nothing heading into Memorial Day weekend.
Can't wait for that.
I think one of the smartest things AEW did was get themselves Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends. They know people will watch. So
I think one of the smartest things they did was only have 4 pay-per-views a year.
4 major ones, yeah. So and sneak in a few here and there that are pretty important. So so we're going to talk about that in a couple weeks. See how the rest of these quarterfinal Owen Hart Cup matches play out too. Who are the Joker cards? Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. A lot of big heavy push that says we'll at least find out who Joe's opponent will be tomorrow. So we'll see. So
Down for that.
yep. Thank you again, everyone, for joining, live chatting, being part of the show. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks, but stay tuned to our Twitter at @CCG_WrestleCast. If any late breaking news, we'll try and share that as well. And Tommy, of course, happy birthday.
So much.
Appreciate you taking some time on your birthday. How long? 24? 34. 34. Okay.
Which is funny because everyone at HEB thinks I'm in my 20s. When I tell them my age, it's like they're like, oh, like I've got like
Whoops.
several oh my gods whenever I say that. It's like I was like I'm both complimented and somewhat horrified. It's like, oh, thank you. I think.
Where is your flip phone and iPod?
Yes.
Well, to be fair, I had the iPod, and my wife was screaming about my age since she's older than me. I won't tell you. Y'all two know, but I won't tell the rest of the people how much. Oh, she's because I'm hot. Thank you, dear.
That came out too on the stream. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude.
It did. Oh my god.
Leave it off that, but you mentioned the iPad. I'll point out.
I don't know what you'd be embarrassed about. A woman just yelled you're hot.
Yeah.
And it's your woman, so there you
It's
go.
funny you brought the iPod out because Apple announced they stopped supporting the final iPod in existence. Yeah. So it is the end of an era. I know. So.
Hart.
Starting to feel old right now. Yeah, so
Like, we lived through the whole era of an iPod. That's just weird,
it's crazy,
right?
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jeez.
it's bad enough we had to say bye to AOL Instant Messenger. I still miss that damn thing.
Buff
Down
Daddy
here,
1981.
we got Squint84 signed off. Down here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are
Are
Fake.
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 See y'all in a couple weeks.
Adios, Gunther.